Canadian police departments respond to tens of thousands of mental health calls every year. Many of those are wellness checks. But in several high-profile cases, they've escalated into violence and even death. Global's Farah Nasser has been exploring different strategies for wellness checks that don't involve police.
A call comes in for someone in mental health distress, and it's not police who respond in Eugene, Oregon, but a civilian health team.
Pretty much everybody we see is, for one reason or another, in a state of crisis.
This is the future mental health advocates want to see. A change in how we view wellness checks, not as an incident police need to respond to, but as a medical call.
We're the wrong entity in the first place. There's a space in there for somebody other than a uniform.
We met with the Peel Regional Police Chief and the Canadian Mental Health Association. They've partnered to deliver a mobile crisis response team known as MCERT.
I think there's a willingness, actually, to hand over that responsibility to healthcare, which you don't always see.
A big problem, resources. In a region with 1.4 million people, there are only 2 mobile teams. In Toronto, the Gerstein Centre's non-police mobile crisis teams have been responding to those in need for decades.
We try to meet people where they're at. We try to be, not judgmental. We try to acknowledge how difficult situation can be for somebody.
And many more services like the Gerstein Centres are needed.
To take the time to do it right.
That's where Asante Houghton and Rachel Bromberg come in.
There is a stigma, there is an association that people have in their minds between mental health crisis calls and violence, but in the real world, it just doesn't exist.
They co-founded the Reach Out Response Network, which advocates for a non-police mental health emergency service available 24/7.
We're talking about peer workers, we're talking about mental health nurses, we're talking about clinicians. And these are the folks that we really want to be a part of our mental health crisis response teams.
Back in Oregon, out of the tens of thousands of calls last year, the mental health teams only needed police backup less than 1% of the time, saving lives and millions of dollars. Farah Nasser, Global News, Toronto.